again, lies. So you see, all these things are kind of like programmed in a way. You listen to this. You devalued your currency. When Tinubu came in 2 years ago, a dollar to naira was 420 naira to $1. When Tinubu came in, they are officially, then unofficially, 700 naira to $1. Today, when Tinubu came in, the dollar to naira, a naira to dollar right now is 1,700 naira. Officially, 1,700 naira to $1. That is like 4. That is like 500% devaluation. They went on TV, they say it's a good thing. That automatically means if you have 500 million naira, the value you are going to really get for it is not different from the value you are going to get for 80 million naira. Yeah. 80 times 5. 40. Or 400 rather. So 500 million. 70 million naira. If you have 500 million naira right now in your bank, or let's say you had 500 million naira in 2023, the value of that 500 million naira in 2023 in dollar rate, you will put it somewhere around, let's say, maybe $1.1 billion. Are you following? That is 500 million naira. $1.1 million 2 years ago. Tinubu and his gang came in. A dollar turned 1,700 naira to $1. A dollar turned to 1,700 naira. And do you know how much is $1 billion now? 1.7 billion naira. Yeah, 1.7 billion naira. Do you know how much is 100,000 naira now? $100,000. 170 million naira. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that your 500 million naira in 2023, today, is now far, 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 far less. But if you had 500 million naira in if you had $1.1 million in 2023, that was worth 500 million naira. Today, your $1.1 million is still $1.1 million. But in naira, it will now be worth 1.8 billion naira, not 500 million naira anymore. So that's what Tinubu did to you. So now if you are a local government area, they used to collect 100 million naira, or let's say 200 million naira. How much do you think 200 million naira of 2023 is worth right now? Just guess. Me too, I'm not giving accurate figure, but I'm giving something not too close, not too far off, just to give you the idea of what their voodoo economy has done to you. Yeah, 200 million naira in 2023. And then, how much do you think that is worth in today's value? Like devaluation stuff, right? Anyway, maybe you should work on that. I'm just kind of trying to explain to you that they want you to believe they are getting more money, right? But in a nutshell, they are actually getting less money that looks so big. Because at the end of the day, right, they're still unable to pay salaries. Yeah, they are still unable to pay the minimum wage. even Tinubu is yet to pay minimum wage to the federal government staffs, our workers. Wike is still paying 30,000 naira in Abuja to teachers, and they are protesting. There are other members of a different federal government staff that are protesting the non-payment of the minimum wage right now. But they are already giving themselves a award as part of, So the bottom line is that Tinubu, they are like a snake venom merchant. Snake venom merchants. It is like that of a Wike. I mean, tax is good, like I said. There should be jail time, like serious jail time for those that will take this money and decide to go buy themselves, real estate abroad. And you that seated there arguing for them, explaining to people how this is going to benefit them. I mean, those of you who explain the minimum wage I explain the subsidy removal to people. Today, you are doubling down. You are seeing the effect, the failure of all of that, right? But they are doubling down. They said they made the greatest decision to make him feel good. He has now signed the World Bank, IMF influenced tax reform in Nigeria. So it's now time for everybody to sit back and see how that plays out. Right? With the Wike and Sons, Nigeria Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, just before we go to Wike, I actually I have a clip of a Kolu signing this. So I'm going to use and wrap it.
To me, I should just keep on, and this will not be easy. That leadership is the reason why we're here today. We're grateful to you, and history will remember you for good, for transforming our country, because we know this is an important reform. We're so happy today, and may God bless Nigeria, may God bless you.
Mr. President, today is the happiest day of my life. This is the dream come true. Generation of God will change the financial landscape of this country. Thank God we are here. In a few months, Nigeria will continue to fulfill courage, dedication, and most importantly, the lesson that I will take during this course. God bless you, sir.
Two guys with that. So Oladele and then Zach, the other that one with skinny head, right? That's the FIRS guy, but they've changed their names. Their name now to something else, and they have also created a board. It's like job for the boys as well, but it's just coming to eat. But the real effect of it should be what they do with that money. Don't call me skeptic. All right? You may be optimistic, which is good for you. But sometimes I shouldn't waste energy on something that is still going to come back to bite you and everyone. Because if I say it right now, it's always going to be like, hey, but it's a good thing. Like the subsidy removal, it is a good thing. You'll find out later. Like with the Wike's madness in Abuja, some said it's a good thing. With the Wike, who became Minister of Abuja in August 2023. And by October 2023, Wike and his allies, they registered a company. And that company is called Joak Farms and Estates. As Wike keeps going after the landowners in Abuja, revoking their CFOs, calling them fake and all that, call them squatters, Wike was reallocating the same land to family, friends, associates, proxies, and so on. This has now become public. It's not new. It is what they do in Nigeria every now and then. Jebulumayi is doing the same thing right now along the coastal road, Lagos Coastal Road. It is what they do. These are criminals. And I said it back then. I said, you see all this nonsense he's doing, it's not for urban development, anything. No. This guy went into already built areas that people have built their houses since 80s, 70s. And because he's the minister who has the power to revoke the CFO, and the law gives him that right, that power. Do you know another thing the law also empowers him to do? And that is, he can allocate lands to himself, to his family members, and it won't be a crime. Do you know that? But it is morally kind of like, wrong. Do you know their law does not forbid them from taking land from anybody and allocating it to themselves or family members? You see this reaction that is coming up, or this revelation coming up, in the face of their law, in that contraption, he's done nothing wrong. But at the same time, because they do it in a way that, it will be difficult even for government to take it from them when they are no longer in power. And that is why most times they just use fronts. People's Gazette released this document, the CFO, which we have also traced to another group of people. You see that little boy with a Wike's second born, they said. Yeah, that is Joaquin with a Wike's second son. And he is in his own name that they shortened to Joak Farms and Estates Limited. You see, the guys behind this, fictitious or fraudulent, what do you call it? The guys behind this fraudulent company, right? They are with the Wike's men. In a normal way, their names, because we have to go to the CAC. That is, what do you call that, your CAC again? Current Affairs Commission, I'll be with that. So the CAC online is able to reveal the owners of this company or this farm. And this is enough, to know, the guys they are using as front. Here is the first one. Is that Sandy, Ojang Ono, Ako Adapoyi, Kinsley Ogundu Chinda. You know Chinda? Honorable Chinda. Okay. Then you have Tech Farms and Estates. Right? And who are the owners of shareholders, rather, the shareholders? You have the likes of Polo Siso Farms and Estates, another subsidiary of another fictitious front company that with a Wike opened towards the end of 2023. Right? Man. Something that social media works so well that if anyone feels deceived, it is because you allowed it. The information is so out there, right? That's rather than for you to get confused. Like if people like us could have all of this and could even look into all of this guy not care that this thing is in the public. They don't care. Why should they? When, when they are the ones in power. So there is no fear of any consequences, right? So when the Wike now responded through Larry Olayinka, he said, it's some enemies, they always call people enemies, enemies after them. When the Wike recently has been, parading his sons, these two of them. He's been taking them everywhere. Something that other, the observers believe, is trying to, get them acquainted with the movers and shakers in Abuja, the seat of power, so that he can get to know that these are his own sons and they matter a lot. So 40,000 plots of land. Do you know how much they sell each land? I'm going to go get, give me a second. I'm going to go and get give me a sec. The CFO, the one that I can possibly see on this screen, right? So give me a sec. 2,082 hectares of land, which is approximately 40,000 plots of land. But before they allocated in total of that 40,000 plots in Maitama, with a Wike, after the company, this Joak Farms and Estates, right? After it got registered in October 2023, just 2 months after Wike became Minister of FCT, Joak Farms and Estates received the first batch of allocated land of 350 hectares of land. So far, so good. People's Gazette that exposed this CFO and all that said there is actually more. This is just a tip that they now have access to the newly approved or allocated or reallocated lands in Abuja by Wike and the people that fill the whole list. And we are talking about thousands of lands. So they go about, they look around, they be like, you know what? Can you please get me the lot number of this area? They say, this is the lot number, sir. You know what? Go and tell all of them that the government want to take the land. So if you now take a look at this, I don't know if I am just an Olodo, and I will accept that, gladly accept, that. However, I want you to help me. So this square meter, this 2.56 square meter, with a sign Naira that says premium, rent per annum, improvement value, blah, 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 that zero there. So now if you go on and check that first one that said premium and Naira sign, then 2.56 square meter or something, right? She going to say 2 Naira 56 kobo. Because it's supposed to be the charges, Abi. I've been looking for the exact figure, and it's not really been like figuring for me. She gets. So, when the Wike allocated this land, 2,082 hectares of land, 40,000 plots of land to his son. So Larry came and said, people are just mischief makers, idiots, blah, blah, blah. He called people names, right? Said, fake news journalist. That did they not go and check the owners of the company? Rather than, because the name starts with Joak, and they automatically felt like it is, nobody is stupid, but everybody can continue to pretend because everybody knows what they are doing. Do you understand? But taking people's land, people who have built their houses, some of them, they bought this land from the supposed real owners. The real owners who believed that they had the real documents. They woke up and they realized that Wike had revoked all their CFOs, all their documents became invalid. He brought in the bulldozers, demolished their homes, rendered them homeless, only for him to give the lands to his own friends and families for 99 years rent. $99 with a Wike. You try. The people of Ogede in Edo State, they have been in the news for the past 2 weeks, and they have been in the news prior to that, since they have come under this intense oppression in the hands of the Nigerian military. They said they gave land to the Nigerian military to build barracks.